Good morning, baby dolls. One of you guys wasn't following the rules. I received an inbox message from Larry. And Larry thought he was a smarty pants. You don't wear brown leather shoes on a Saturday morning. Reddit is making me lick my lips right now. We have an enormous thread from Reddit fudding, pooping on Hex. Now, I have collected the best comments here for you. I want to show you in real time how a contrarian, deep value, fluffy sock investor would interpret this. You want to get inside my brain. You want to analyze this from my perspective so you can carry this tool with you for the rest of your life. No brown leather shoes on a Saturday morning. Reddit is the Soy Drinkers Association. Okay? And they've made this thread. It's great. I love it. Now, when you have 250 people unilaterally agreeing that a coin that's gone up and to the right is a Ponzi, scam, cult, and going to zero. Okay, when you see that, your ears should perk up. You take your beanie off and then point your ears up to the ceiling. Are they perked? Perk them. If you want to find deep value investments, this is what you have to do. You have to dig into the crowd. You have to see the other side. And then maybe you take your foot out of your slippers and you can dip your toe in the water. If you're not comfortable with all the parameters, you can adjust your risk, habibi. You don't need to go all in. Because by definition, deep value means you are so against the crowd that when they switch from massively soy to maybe like 1 cup of soy a day, and then they switch to only soy on the weekends, and then they go to no soy, that is giving you the 100x potential. And that's a figure of speech. This happens in commodities, in stonks. This happens in every asset class in the world. You got to fade the crowd. We're going to go through comments I've highlighted to show you points of interest. And if you didn't get the message before we go through this, you hear that? I'm licking my lips. This is what you want to see. They don't have these types of threads to FUD Bitcoin and Ethereum. Definitely not Bitcoin. There's a bit of Ethereum hate here and there, but it's mostly from XRP Maxi people. So this is why you listen to me. I'm telling you, I know the identities of the people who are FUDing and why they're FUDing. So let's go. Okay. We have a thread here. Their thread title. The Hex community is mad at us for calling their project a scam and a Ponzi. They discussed our posts and comments on YouTube, Twitter, and Reddit. So the Soy Drinkers Association, they're now becoming self-aware. And now they're tripling down. This is exactly what you want to see. Just like the market cycle. You know the Wall Street cheat sheet at the very, very top? Thrill. Right before euphoria. They start to say, I'm now a believer. Time to get fully invested. They're basically in the Wall Street cheat sheet at the very top. That's where people add leverage. They add margin. Okay? This is the same thing when you're looking for a contrarian investment. When you see people get shown facts and they still triple down on calling Hex a scam, Ponzi, or whatever asset you're talking about, whatever it is, this is what you want to see. They're basically leveraging up. Just on the downside. They're basically putting up like a 30x short at the lows. And that's what you want to see, because when you read this, you should go check the price chart and go, wait a minute. These guys are all convicted it's going down, but it's not going down, right? So you've got confirmation here that there's something wrong with the picture. Look at this blue comment here. I'm going to get this so we can read together. Okay, we're going to read here. This is the highest rated comment. This is why I put this here first. Soy Drinker says, ah, yes, the hallmark of a healthy project. When they lash out like scorned 5-year-olds instead of letting the project's merits speak for themselves. It's very interesting because I don't know if this person's looking at the same price chart as I am. Now, I'm not going to do this Twinkie bottom measuring to top thing. I'm going to do day one Uniswap listing. All right, day one Uniswap listing. Hex is today up at 238x. That's today. That's after the drop. And to the top, it went 2,144x. Okay. So this person who reached #1 comments, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. When I see this, look at the upvotes. This person is the highest rated comment. This is what the crowd is thinking. Okay. So I'm just here to share with you. Most people don't post, but they view. You can see on Twitter, right? Only like 2 to 5% of people post and communicate. There's 20x more people viewing. So there's only like, I think it's like 1 to 3% like actually contribute anything, a like or whatever, most of the time. So when you see 92 upvotes, that's huge. Okay. Times that by 20, you have 2,000. 2,000 people saw that. That and this person is speaking and they've upvoted him. So that's how much of an impact this really has. It's in the mindset of everyone. It's what you want to see. If you're a deep value, fluffy sock investor. I'm a deep value, fluffy sock investor. Some of you guys, yeah, I'm not going to say it. Some of you like brown leather shoes on a Saturday morning. All right. Look at the next comment. We're going to read this. Okay. Mr. J says, I thought after Bitconnect, Safemoon, and 998 other scam projects, people would learn. But I have faith that the 1001th time's the charm. So, luckily for you, baby doll kind pumpkins, I do my research for you, okay? So this is the Bitconnect chart. Bitconnect, if you look closely, okay, Bitconnect did the classic Nassim Taleb Turkey chart. So Nassim, he basically says you shouldn't try to forecast the past to be like the future, and because, right, things can be safe forever, right? And then a turkey's life, happiness, on Thanksgiving Day, it goes to zero like that. So like if you'd like to try to look at the past trend, you're like, oh wow, the turkey's really happy, but on Thanksgiving Day, it gets chopped off. So this is Bitconnect. Bitconnect did a huge run up for about a year in 2017, and then the Ponzi collapsed. All right. So that's the first example. Now you're probably going to say, okay, well, what's the difference? Is this time is different? Well, Bitconnect was a literal Ponzi paying you in yield of a supply it could not control. It was paying you in Bitcoin. It could not control the supply of Bitcoin. It didn't make its own asset. Right. So Bitconnect went to zero and it couldn't survive a huge collapse. So what about Safemoon? Luckily for you, baby doll pumpkins, I've got the real Safemoon chart here. Safemoon was launched in about March of 2021. Let's move it so my friends can see. March of 2021. Now, let's put Safemoon on this is a log chart. Well, all right. So Safemoon had this nuclear rise, absolute nuclear monster rise, and you can see, where is this? Okay, so you can see in the nuclear rise coincided with Bitcoin hitting 64K, Coinbase IPO, the retail mania top, Dogecoin, Elon Musk rat, shilling, that was the retail mania top. And from there, it went straight to poopy land, right? Rugged and gone. So this person has just commented Bitconnect and Safemoon because they're the two retailer main narratives they saw that appeared and died. They went supernova. Okay, but this is like the opposite of survivorship bias. This is like, you only remember the two dead ones, right? You could have easily made the case that Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP, and many other coins, Doge, should be zero right now. You could have easily made the case, right? But this person doesn't understand network effects. This person doesn't understand communities. This person has no idea. I hope Jay, reading, watches my videos and starts to see the light. And for those who think, well, I still think he's right, that's okay. I just hope you learn something from this. Because when the next deep value opportunity comes, I might not be here. I might not even have a YouTube, a Twitter. You might not be able to contact me. Might not be around to help you. Eventually, I'll be gone, like a fart in the wind. Very romantic. Disappearing into the shadows. You have to take these tools and you have to learn to win for yourself. Not many people are cut out to be fading the crowd. Okay, you're lucky that I have conviction. I'm not normal. It is not normal from evolution to see 1,000 people telling you to do one thing and you just say, nah, screw yous. Nah, I'm not changing. Keep your brown leather shoes on a Saturday morning. I'm staying with my fluffy slippers. All right. That's not normal. We're not programmed to do that. I have more juicy comments for you, friends. He hits him with the double post. Let's go. Let's try zoom in. And it won't zoom in, but I'll read here. Okay, we're going to read this part. Okay. It's a disappointment that as a farmer of CC, so the Reddit channel, cryptocurrency, I was not featured. I will improve of this. So if Hex community is reading this, F you. So you can see the level of hatred, like seething out. You ever seen those like old cartoons where, you know, Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, his just head so red, he's steaming. Like Ren from Ren and Stimpy. That's exactly what's happening here. Okay. So there's a lot of edge to gain from here. You're literally, I'm just giving you, like, you can literally just make your whole decision off this. Okay. And now, obviously, I'm going to read this one. This confirms that it is a scam. Like, it's just showing you, like, this is everywhere. Everywhere. All right. Look at this. Bottom left. Lol. It's basically a cult at this point. Like Safemoon. Yes! That's why it's deep value. This person gets it, but they can't see it. Peter Lynch is one of the world's greatest investors ever. For a period of his life, he was working like, you know, he was doing me. He was doing the Somi hours, 14 hours a day. He was going nuts. And he was finding so many good companies, but he had to go through like 10,000 at a time. It was like insane. And I think his rate of return was something ridiculous, like 25 to 28% compounded per year, which is enormous, right? Huge. One of the best. And then he had to stop for work reasons because it was just taking over his life. So he says that, you know, you just find stuff that's undervalued and you do the numbers and everything's sweet, right? However, there are other great respected stock market investors. You know what they say? They say, hey man, I sat in the room that Peter Lynch sat in a different time. I was interviewing the same companies. I was searching for value as well. We looked at the same books, the same balance sheets. We spoke to the same CEOs. We went to the same buildings. We sat in the exact same rooms, just different time slots of the day. Yet he saw value and he bought them, but I didn't. I never saw it. This is a common expectation of markets. Everyone looks at the same information, but only a few are going to be winners. So I'm here to share with you. I can be wrong. And that's fine. It'll go to zero, whatever. Yes, it can go to negative numbers. We can go to zero. It just disappears tomorrow. But I think there's a greater than 0% chance that it can go the other way. And if there's greater than 0% chance, you can price it. There is a risk-adjusted amount you can place. Okay? Even look at the next comment. So we're talking about a cult. I'm seeing a cult and I'm saying, oh, sweet. That means it's easy. That means I can go to sleep every night. In my dusty room, I can go to sleep. I wake up 6 hours later. I have faith. And I believe that when I open Twitter, I'm going to see hexagons shilling and promoting. And when I open up YouTube, there's going to be new streams, new hexagons interviewing. I know I'm going to see that. And guess what I do? Right? So I see this as a positive. This person sees it as a negative. Look at this next comment. I think that is the best comparison indeed. So it's talking about a cult, right? Their logic is so out of this world, it really does not matter what argument you give, right? So this is amazing as well. This person is seeing the same information that I'm telling you. Yes, you have 150,000 people, Habib Albi, in a room, and you are yelling at them that they're in something worth zero, and they are refusing to budge. They keep onboarding people. How don't you see what I see? You want to give that zero? You know, at one point, they called Apple a cult, and they said the Apple iPhone was basically zero innovation, which is true. Apple didn't really invent anything. Just put a calendar and a phone and messaging together and email, and that's it. That'd been done before. It's the same thing, but you have people now who just are Apple Maxis. Okay? Next part. My favorite part was so they're talking about referring to people seeing the information. So he's referring to a reply guy, or a person replying in the comments. He says, you are just jealous that Hex is up 220%, while ETH and BTC are up 50% argument. So that's his favorite part. And now he's saying Hex is still down more percent from its all-time high after that pump. And then in the reply, the guy changed the subject. So when you start to see this, friends, this is someone like losing a battle. They're starting to go like, like, okay, you didn't go to zero. Okay, you went up more than 1,000x, but you're still down from the all-time high. Like forever and ever, they're going to use an argument. You know, this is not unique. This happens just when people make up their mind. Okay? So, I put this in comment. You're going to be surprised I put this comment in. You're very surprised. So, look what this person says. Maddie says, I really don't understand why people attack people who point out flaws in a project they support. I remember that I thought Luna was great, and I saw somebody point out flaws on this subreddit. I stopped putting in money and saved myself a big headache when it collapsed. People need to stop declaring stuff regarding their project that they don't like as FUD and hate, and just read it and think about it. Next comment. Preachers are going to preach. The sad thing is the ones that get swept up on you. So, Maddie here has a bias without knowing. And I'm glad that I can point this out with you. See, Maddie sees what he wants to see. How do I know this? I was browsing. I was checking out Reddit during Luna going up. Okay? Everyone was bullish, man. There were a lot of people bullish. There was 6 bullish stuff, 1 bear. So Matt, in the comments, he found a subreddit and some guy posting, oh, there's some flaws here. And he started getting contrarian. He basically had rode the wave up and he's like, oh man, something about this doesn't make sense. So he noticed the contrarian view. But what Maddie doesn't see is Hex is the contrarian view here. All over Reddit. Hex FUD, Hex hate, it's trash, it's going to zero, it's a Ponzi, always. So I want you to know that I know this because I was browsing Reddit around the time. I saw all of this. I got attacked by lunatics saying, man, it's a Ponzi, right? Like, you got to get out. It's up 100x. You're literally up 100x in 18 months on your Ethereum. And I even said, even if this isn't a Ponzi, even if this is literally God's gift to humanity, you should get out. It's up 100x on your Ethereum, man. How much more do you want? So he's in the majority view here. Okay, but this is the thing. When you see loud people, you think they're everywhere, but they're not really everywhere. It's still the contrarian view. It's banned on CoinMarketCap. It's still outlawed. Okay, there is a lot of things, just evidence, completely right in your face tells you, okay, this to own this is not with the majority. Absolutely no chance. So all this evidence, right? You can talk forever. It doesn't mean anything. Show me the price chart. Look at this. Look at this. I went through that. Look at the chart. Just says everything. Okay. Look what they're fighting. They are fighting this, by the way. They're fighting this. That's what they're fighting. All right. They're fighting that. So, what about all this part? Huh? What about this part? I want like, what about this part? Let's see here. Yes. What about this part? What about here? What about this run up? Right? You can't look at this and say, well, you know, it's Ponzi and a scam and worth nothing. Okay. All right, it's worth nothing to you. I'm just trying to show you maybe there's a chance greater than 0% that it's not worth nothing. All right? You can adjust for risk based off that, friends. Lottery tickets, even though they ain't worth much, couple of bucks, they're still worth something. Obviously, I've done more research. Not a lottery ticket here, right? So you have to think of this for yourself. This is an example. You're going to see this in the future. They're rare. They don't come all the time. In extremes of asset prices, they do start to come. But at the end of the day, how much money are you going to make like with Bitcoin tops and bottoms, really, going forward? It's not going to give you these 8x's from bottom to top all the time. It's going to start going smaller. So this is a skill set you've now learned. You get to see, you go through real time. I'm seeing the same information as everyone else, but because I've gone through over 500 altcoins, I know what to look for. I completely empathize. If you drink soy, it's all right. You don't have to. This information is out for you, friends. You do what you want with it. And make sure you tell your mum you love her. Until next time.